everyone, welcome back. Let's watch some creepy TikToks.
If you can't clearly see that Mother Earth is doing something very crazy, I don't know what to tell you. This video just came out and it's of clear quartz that is busting through the roadway. These are crystals that are coming out of the ground. Yeah. Please someone explain to me how this happens. A couple weeks ago, I made a video about my garden growing flowers in the middle of fucking December. And then last week, I saw a video of a man saying that he was catching grasshoppers in the mountains of Colorado. Baby grasshoppers. In January. In Colorado. Then I saw another man who was a farmer who was saying that his whole entire ground should be permafrost. And guess what? It's not. It was just soggy, wet ground, which he said was going to rot the trees. And now we're watching clear quartz bust through the middle of a road. Still think everything's okay? Still think everything is all right? Because if you do, you're the fucking Looney Tune at this point. You're the conspiracy theorist.
She's right though. I definitely notice that where I live, we usually get like first spring, second winter, second spring, and I don't think we're gonna get our second winter. I got flowers coming up in my yard, and it's February. We should literally have like blizzard weather. We usually have like a few feet of snow right now. Not usually, but frequently. There's definitely something happening. Like, what makes quartz crystal come out of the road? That's crazy. What do you think?
We have been lied to about the environment and our population problem, but not the way you think we've been lied to. It's time you learn the difference between environmentalism and eco-fascism. Environmentalism is just humans taking up their charge to be stewards of this planet. Eco-fascism is the idea that humans are inherently the problem with this planet. A lot of y'all throwing the baby out with the bathwater when you naturally rebel against eco-fascism and then you get rid of environmentalism. That ain't what to do. Let's start with the environment, specifically global warming. A lot of people think that the issue is that the world is getting hotter because of human-caused climate change, and other people be like, no, that's a lie. The sun was going to do whatever and we was going to get hotter regardless. That's not the problem. The issue is that if the world don't get no hotter, we are in the age of the sixth mass extinction. If the world don't get no hotter, we got a plastic problem in the ocean. If the world don't get no hotter, we got issues with pollution and the poisons of our environment getting into our bodies. The eco-fascists will look at the problems with pollution and implement control measures over the economy and over people and over governments that don't do anything but enrich themselves and increase measures of control without solving the actual problem. Eco-fascists, who will not be named, have convinced a lot of us that the way to solve the environment problem is to actually just get rid of the people. In fact, we need more hands on deck to solve the problem. You see, the issue is that the planet cannot handle 10 billion consumers, but the world actually needs billions of stewards. And the population ain't booming everywhere. There are places that have negative population growth. Way more people are dying than being born, and they got a whole different set of problems. And this is going to balance out the growth of the world. Did y'all know that there's some good news in the environment that has a lot to do with masses of people acting in unison to do things in years that nature would take millennia to do? For example, the most populous places in the world, China, India, and Africa, have taken actions that have planted billions with a B of trees and regenerated forests that it would literally have taken nature almost millions of years to do. We need hands on deck for that. We need more people, not less, just acting in a different capacity. People are the solution. We need people to create circular economies and ocean pasture restoration and certain animal wildlife conservation efforts. We need all of that. People are rescuing mangroves. People are restoring ecosystems. People are cleaning up the ocean. It is people that will be this planet's salvation. And we need you more than ever. My name is Theo E.J. Wilson, aka Kid Charisma. Like, follow, and share this message out. Holla back.
I think I just read recently that the American population stopped replacing itself in like the 70s. So the population is definitely getting lower in most countries. I could be wrong. That's the impression I'm under. And then whenever you factor in uh all of the kids that for like, I don't know, the past 10, 15 years, there's more kids being born with like just a lot of disabilities. They're not going to be able to have normal jobs. They're not going to be able to function as well as they want to, as well as their parents want to. So whenever you put that in with the fact that people just aren't having enough babies, I don't think population's the problem.
That's not a real kiss.
Not at all. That is not real love.
Dude,
Did you hear that? That is real love.
The fact that they have to say that's real love tells you it's not real. On that note, why did the Pentagon have to come out and say Taylor Swift is not a psyop? Why did the Pentagon make a statement? That's a very odd thing for the Pentagon to come out and say when no one was making the official claim. I'm just saying.
That is pretty odd.
For athletes or anyone sporting a toothless grin. It's a Canadian invention that not only plugs the gaps, but fills the holes with brand new pearly whites. CTV's Deborah Shirey explains.
Miller getting some time in Ekman's spot, and Ryan Smith is down and hurt.
It was a jaw-dropping shot as Edmonton Oiler Ryan Smith takes a puck to the face, and yes, those are his teeth.
As quickly as possible for you.
It's too late for Smith's smile, but researchers at the University of Alberta could have a cure for future toothless hockey grins. An ultrasound device that regrows human teeth. Tariq Albiali was researching jaw growth in rabbits.
Accidentally, when I applied the ultrasound, I found the lower incisor grow.
Albiali is the first to try the treatment on humans. After 20 minutes a day, new teeth started to grow in a month.
With this device, we'll get these roots together, held them together.
I think that's really, really cool. If we could just clean house in a few in particular places, I think that give it even less than 10 years, we could literally all just get better and not need medicine. We could all just literally get better.
So I don't know how to really even say this. I've read somewhere that a lot of diseases can be linked back to mineral deficiencies. Actually, most diseases can be linked back to mineral deficiencies. And I think it said we needed something like 102. 102 minerals is what our bodies need to function. So I started looking for something to supplement those minerals. Because as you know, our soils are just so over-farmed, we're not even getting what we need from food anymore. Now this is coming from somebody who takes magnesium, who takes zinc, who takes a multivitamin, and eats very clean. And I will say, for a long time, I kind of hesitated. I was like, do I really need this? Holy crap. This is day 2 of this Zoyava supplement bundle, and I feel like I've taken the dang limitless pill.
He brings up a really good point. Most of our food doesn't have half the stuff that it should in it because the ground's just barren. It has no minerals left. And then the other half of our food is all processed from a laboratory. So with so little real food, obviously that adds into everybody being ill and having their disabilities, and the doctors are just loving it.
$100 billion fucking dollars. Are you fucking? I can't even
$100 billion for war. What else could we do with $100 billion? Let's take a look. It would cost $6 billion to take care of everybody's house in Lahaina who lost it in the fire. It would cost $20 billion to end homelessness. We're at $26 billion at this point. It would cost $58 billion to send everybody in this country to university for free, giving everybody the education that they deserve to follow their dreams. That puts us at about $84 billion out of the $105 billion. Then we use the rest, the remaining $21 billion, to subsidize healthcare in the United States, especially for those who are most vulnerable. And that puts us at $105 billion. So what we were able to do is solve one of the biggest crises in our precious state of Hawaii. We're able to solve homelessness. We're able to send everybody to college for free, and then we're able to subsidize healthcare for the most vulnerable in our society for the money that Biden wants to send just this round to war. What do you think? Do you think that's a good use of funds? I don't.
I think that's why we can't have nice things.
Holy shit, this situation just got a whole lot fucking crazier. As you can see, former Chilean President Sebastián Pinera dies in a helicopter crash at 74 just yesterday. But before we go any further, I want everybody to be aware of the situation at hand and why we're talking about Chile. This just so happens to be what majority of southern Chile looks like at this very moment, as a series of deadly wildfires that killed over 112 people ravaged through the areas of southern Chile. Now stay with me, okay, because this is the primary reason of why we're speaking about Chile and the wildfires. As you can see, thousands of homes were destroyed in flames, which swept through the hilly settlements around the resort town of Viña del Mar starting Friday, propelled by high winds. A regional state of emergency was declared and a nighttime curfew imposed. Well, ironically, the same energy institutions that just so happen to be involved with rebuilding Maui in quotations, just so happen to have their 4th LA Conference on Sustainable Development of Energy, Water, and Environment Systems, just on the 14th to the 17th of January 2024, in where? Ironically, if you look into as to why they're interested in Viña del Mar, you might see here Viña del Mar is considered Chile's top city to live in, work in, and visit, and ranks 2nd behind only Santiago for education. And then a whole bunch of other pros for the area as well. And that doesn't seem to be the only article that seems to be talking about things like that. Now, what's ironic is the company named Hitachi just so happened to have a website just a couple months ago that just so happened to be deleted that clearly stated that Maui was supposed to be the first integrated SMART island. So that's pretty interesting, and the reason why it's so damn interesting is because of this. Oh, wow. You mean the SMART City Business Chile headquarters are at where? Huh. And then if you just so happen to go to their summit website, you might find things like this. And has anybody gained notice as to how many lithium mines are being built in southern Chile? I'm not laying claim to anything officially being true, but I hope I can at least connect the puzzle pieces for you a little bit easier. In the last episode, I just so happened to speak about a certain satellite that just so happened to be above Maui the day of the wildfires. Now, once again, not laying claim to anything officially being true, but the satellite just so happens to be owned by a company named CERN. CERN a couple years ago just so happened to declare that they discovered the 5th force of nature, which just so happens to be something called cosmic energy. And the cosmic energy may or may not be collected via satellite. And when it is, it just so happens to be able to produce a specific beam, but you can't actually say that word openly here on TikTok. But it's ironic because I spoke about in the last video as well that there has officially been a Space Force unit created just last year, right? That is designated to defending the nation against adversary satellites that are capable of producing ground-based what? Yeah, once again, can't use that word. But gosh, that really makes you think, huh? Did you know Jeff Bezos just last year just so happened to build a SMART hub in the middle of the waters in Greece? And the main 2 areas that just so happen to communicate via data with the hub are Athens and Larissa. Wait, Athens and Larissa just had their worst fire seasons to date. Oh man, wait, what? It's not hard to research into these matters for yourself, people. I mean, come on. So many people rely on mainstream media and the news to paint this picture of truth for you.
Did you know any of that? I didn't even know that Chile got lasered. Like, I didn't even... That was the first thing that I heard about any of that.
So, did you know that fabrics have different frequencies? Because I was like yesterday years old when I found out about this, but apparently in the early 2000s, there was a lady named Heidi Yellen. And she did a study where she bounced a particle of energy, like a photon, off of different fabrics and measured the wave that comes back when you bounce energy off different fabrics, okay? And so she measured the wavelength in like megahertz or whatever. And what she found was that there are some that are very low on the list. So basically anything rayon that's made out of wood pulp that's been heavily chemicalized to make it soft. Polyester that's made out of plastics, yeah. Silk, which we all know where silk comes from. It's not very pretty, but beautiful fabric. But all these numbers represent low frequency wavelengths that are bouncing back, right? Cotton is between 70 and 100 depending on how organic it is, which is interesting. The human body, if you bounce a particle off the human body, it's between 68 and 72. So cotton is almost the exact frequency of the human body, which is interesting. But here's where it gets crazy, folks. Look at this. Linen and wool are high frequency fabrics. They both have 5,000 megahertz frequency. So when you bounce an energy particle off of it, it shoots back at you at a high speed or high rate, right? But you know how a wave is like up and down, up and down? Their waves are exact opposites of each other. So as linen is going up, wool is going down, basically. And then they cross, and as wool is going up, linen's going down. And so if you wear them together, they cancel each other out completely. And this person's saying maybe that's why ancient texts talk about not wearing wool and linen together. And so I found this out, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be funny if those like special undergarments that Mormons wear are made of linen? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? It's all come together. I feel like I'm cracking the code, y'all. And guess what? This is wool. Ain't no linen under there either. And if you didn't know, linen is made from a beautiful plant called flax. And they've also done this study now on hemp fabric, and hemp fabric is 400 in its wave. So there you go. Now you know. Fancy little frequency fabrics. Love y'all.
I find that absolutely fascinating. I'm a very fashion-oriented person. You really can't tell, but this is my leisure attire. But I really like clothing, and I've always, well, I didn't always pay attention to fabrics, but the past 2 or 3 years, I've just started getting into like studying the Bible non-religiously, just curious. And it mentioned, yeah, what she said, like not to mix your fibers in your fabric. And I was like, that's kind of interesting and crazy. And then like whenever I would think about it, like whenever you just like are having a, say you get home from work and you just don't even feel right, you get a shower and you put on like your cotton sweatpants and your cotton white t-shirt, your cotton socks, and like a flannel or a sweatshirt that's cotton, don't you just feel a lot better? It's kind of like that just kind of struck me. And then what she said about the monks that wear linen, that makes perfect sense. I read that linen is actually really good for your wounds, to wrap your wounds with linen bandages instead of like plastic sticky stuff that sucks anyhow. And it makes you think too, because I also noticed within like the past 10 years, like shopping for clothing, the fabric is terrible. It's terrible. It feels like you don't even have to put it on your body and it's already making you sweat. Like, I just can't stand it. I've been having, like, this is the longest I've talked probably, but I've been having a hell of a time trying to find just decent sweatpants that's made out of cotton for my kids and myself. And I think it's all part of it. I think they just want to irritate us in every way possible. So they're like, let's take away the fabric quality as well so that they're itchy and sweaty and unhealthy.
I can't believe I sat through a school safety meeting today and we went over alien invasion protocols, procedures. What to do if there's an alien invasion. Our county really gave us procedures for that. And honestly, I did not process anything that was said during that part of the presentation because I could not believe what I was looking at. Like, anybody else out there get alien invasion protocols? What to do with your students if there's an alien invasion? Just mine? Thanks.
Is that true? Are there any teachers here? Is that what happened? Did you have to learn that recently? I actually have a sister that works at a school. I should ask her. Hi, it's Clyde. I'm making a video. Say hi. Hi. It's almost bedtime. Well, that was the whole video this time, and I hope you come back and watch with me again. It's fun. Oh my god! He's saying really naughty words, but I had a good time. I hope you come back again. We'll watch more creepy, weird TikTok videos.